Hi friends, I'm Jen and today we're talking visual clutter. I wasn't always a minimalist and some may disagree that I am one today, but if you had have known me even as little as 4 years ago and were to come over to visit me, you would have found someone that was more stressed, more full of anxiety, and had a lot more stuff in their home. I loved to collect things and collections, and I was always following the trends, what other people were doing, what other people were purchasing. I was definitely influenced by influencers on social media, and some may even say I was a maximalist. Now, they say that minimalism isn't as trendy as it once was, and that's okay because the new me doesn't follow the trends anyway, so it doesn't really apply. What I like about minimalism is that it really made us think and take a look at the stuff that we already had and scale it back and become more mindful of what we own. While I am still striving to become more minimal than I already am, and maybe even call myself a minimalist per se, I appreciate the simplicity of owning less and having less to clean and maintain. Because if you know me, I don't like to clean. So there's that. And having a lot of stuff around means a lot of things to dust, a lot of things to maintain, and a lot of things to clean. So this in turn helps manage our stress levels. When things are less cluttered, I feel more calm and more at peace. I'm always looking for ways to reduce my visual clutter, not only in my home, but in my life as well. So today we're going to be chatting and I'm going to be sharing with you a few of my ideas for how you can reduce your visual clutter in your home and live a more peaceful, calm, and stress-free life. So tip number 1 is to make sure that everything has a place and has a designated home. I cannot stress the importance of having a place to put all of your belongings, because if we don't have a home for them, they end up on the first flat surface that you can find, and clutter accumulates clutter, and therefore you place one thing on a flat surface, it's going to attract more things. And then before you know it, you're going to have a pile of clutter sitting on a counter and not know what to do with it. Because when everything has a home, it is much more easier to tidy up, and then you don't have a lot of visual clutter. Tip number 2 is to make sure that you stick to a neutral color scheme. So not a bunch of bright colors, because if you were to think about it, if you had a bunch of items that were rainbow in color, so red, yellow, orange, pink, blue, those colors are really distracting to the eye. I like to stick to a more neutral color palette, natural wood tones, whites, creams, tans, taupes. Those colors are very calming and peaceful. And the little bit of color that I do have in my home is a very dark navy blue, and I find that is calming and peaceful as well. The next thing that I am going to suggest is that you reduce your knickknack and picture frames. I used to have picture frames on every single wall of our home and knickknacks in every corner. I had bookshelves that were filled with things, and now I'm eliminating those bookshelves, which means I'm eliminating the knickknacks. Fewer knickknacks means fewer things to dust, fewer things to maintain. It's less things to clean and less things to keep up with. My mantle is a prime example. I have 3 pieces on it right now, but if you were to see my mantle from last fall, even last spring, I had a lot more on it. So this year and last year's mantle are going to be drastically different, and that's okay. We're losing the lighting in here, so I apologize if it's gotten a little darker. But the next tip for reducing visual clutter, I've kind of already touched on, but it's reducing the amount of flat surfaces that you have in your home. So like I've mentioned, when you put an item down on a flat surface, it's automatically going to attract more clutter, because you just our natural reaction is to place things with things. And if we see something, we just automatically start putting other items with it, and it's just going to clutter up your surfaces. So if we eliminate those flat surfaces to begin with, then we eliminate that problem. I've gotten rid of so many bookcases and shelving units and dressers in my home that we once had, and they just now, I don't have them to put things on top of, and I honestly am not missing it one bit. Oh, I think we're on tip number 5, and this tip I actually learned from my friend Becky from Minimalism. I'm going to leave her channel listed down below and in the icon in the sky. She is a great friend and a great inspiration if you are trying to live a more minimal lifestyle. She says the 30-second rule. I love this. If it takes 30 seconds or less to put something away, do it right away. Do it then, because if you do, you will thank your future self. You won't have a pile of items sitting on a counter waiting for you to put them away, and it only takes 30 seconds. You'd be surprised how little time it takes to put things away, really, in the grand scheme of things. If everything has a home and has a place, then it's rather easy, unless you live in a gigantic mansion, which I do not. I live in a very small, minimal home, and it doesn't take me long to either go upstairs or down to the basement. And so if we do these things, if it only takes 30 seconds to put it away, it's not going to take a lot of time out of our day. So those are 5 tips that I have for you to reduce your visual clutter in your home and in your life, and I hope you enjoyed. Reducing your visual clutter will really help clear your mind and help you think more clearly. The more clutter we have in our home, the more knickknacks that we have lying around, the more we are stressed, like I've mentioned. And well, I once used to think that we had to have all of our spaces decorated beautifully by following Pinterest and all those magazine trends, or by taking, a book and layering things in packs of 3. I no longer think that way. I decorate my home in a very minimal, simple way that leaves me a lot of room to breathe and not to be stressed by looking at all the clutter that is here. I hope you enjoyed listening and watching as I chatted about how you can reduce your visual clutter in your home. If you have any tips or any tricks on anything related to minimalism, let me know down in the comments, or if there's a video idea that you would like to see, then let me know and I will do my best to film it for you. Thanks so much for being here. Remember, I love and appreciate you all. If you need more simplifying, minimizing, and decluttering motivation, you can check out this video or this video here, and we will see you next week. Thanks for being here. Bye now.